everything New Orleans Pelicans from a fan's perspective. 27 points, 5 rebounds. Welcome to Pelicans Flock Report, where I give you everything New Orleans Pelicans from a fan's perspective. I'm your host, D. Broussard. First things first, man, before I get started, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel, the all-new Pelicans Flock Report. You don't want to miss it after each and every game, and even on off days. You don't want to miss it, man. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Shout out to everybody that's already subscribed, man. I really appreciate y'all out there. And as long as y'all keep subscribing, I'm going to keep bringing these videos to y'all, man. Today, I want to touch on a topic that's been floating around here lately, and that's Yves Missi. Yves Missi. Yves Missi has been playing really, really well for us lately, and I feel like Yves Missi might be him, and it's starting to get scary. Now, Yves Missi is from Cameroon, country in Africa. Uh, he is 6'11", 235 pounds. He played his college ball at Baylor University, and he was the 21st pick in the 2024 NBA draft, selected by the Pelicans. And since Yves has arrived on the scene, he has been a really good addition to this Pelicans team. He's continuing to develop. He's continuing to get better. And I think we've been able to witness and see that as of late, because Yves has really been playing some good basketball. Now, he had a stellar rookie season as well. And at the beginning of this season, I felt like he didn't really start out the season that well this year, in my opinion. But I feel like as the season progressed, Yves Missi continued to get better, continued to work on his offensive side of the game, because we already know Yves as a good defender, rim protector, rebounder. We know he can do those things, but we've also seen Yves get better from the offensive side of things. Adding, uh, being able to handle the ball, being able to take guys off the dribble. We've seen Yves do that in certain games, and it looks like he's continuing to work on his offensive game so he can be effective on the offensive side of things. Now, one of the things that Yves brings is energy. I feel like every time Yves gets into the game, he comes in the game and he brings a lot of energy. He runs the floor like a gazelle. He's always moving. He's always active. He's controlling the paint from a defensive side of things. He's shot blocking. I mean, he's doing all the things that we need him to do every time he steps on the floor. And he's also getting better on the offensive side of things. So I feel like he might be a player that, if we can unlock, he may be a very, very huge piece to this Pelicans team. Now, currently, of course, James Borrego is going with this small ball lineup. I've said numerous times, I'm not really a huge fan of a small ball lineup. And maybe I might just be old school. I'm, a fan of more of the traditional lineup, having a big man out there. But this small ball lineup, as it pertains to right now, it's really working for us. I mean, we have been winning games going with this small ball lineup. But I do feel like at this point, I feel like Yves Missi has made a huge, huge case to be in the starting lineup at this point. And these last couple games and such, I could say, um, since James Borrego has taken over, he's played with a lot of different lineups, matching up and, experimenting and, doing all those things to try to figure out what lineup works best. I understand that part. When a coach takes over a team, they have to kind of find out what they have and work what works best for the team and what's best for the team's success. But I feel like one of the main things that James Borrego is going to have to do if he's going to make his case to become the permanent head coach of this team is he's definitely going to have to figure out what is his go-to starting lineup going forward. And I feel like that's something that he's going to have to figure out before the end of the season if he's going to make a case to be the head coach of this team, because we have to figure out our starting lineup going forward. And I feel like we've kind of been all over the place, like I said, experimenting and things of that nature. But we definitely need a consistent starting lineup, knowing that when we go with this lineup, it gives us the best chance to win games. And right now, I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of looking like the small ball lineup might be the lineup, but that may change. I mean, we still have a couple games left, so I mean, we'll see. But as of right now, Yves Missi has been averaging 5.5 points per game, 5.6 rebounds, and 1.4 blocks. Now, Eve, I think, would probably average a little bit more if he was in the starting lineup. I think he could probably be a double double guy, 10 and 10 per game had he been in the starting lineup. And I feel like when you go with Eve, he gives you shot blocking ability, he gives you rebounding, and he gives you the energy you need when you're going up against teams that play fast, push the pace, things of that nature. Eve gives you a good shot to win games. And I feel like at some point we're gonna have to figure out what are we gonna do with Eve Missi, because I feel like Eve Missi is really starting to blossom and he's really starting to show his potential. And as an organization and a team, we have to figure out how can we unlock this kid and make him a focal point um as we go forward. So um that's something that I feel like we're gonna have to figure out, most definitely. And if we're gonna continue to bring him off the bench, I mean, that's fine. But I just feel like Eve has made a huge case to be a consistent starter in our lineup. I really do. Now, I understand, James going small because, you know, guys have to get their minutes. DeJounte Murray is back. Trey Murphy has been playing well. Herb Jones has been playing well on the defensive end. And then also you have Zion, which kind of brings me back to my last video where I said trading Zion might be the best move for the Pelicans, because that would kind of give these guys like Yves Missi, Derek Queen, guys like that who are constantly developing, and we all feel like these guys can be really good at some point, but they have to develop. They have to get the minutes. They have to play more. They have to get the ball more. They have to be inserted on the basketball court to be able to blossom. So that's one of the things that I feel James Borrego is going to have to figure out, especially if he's going to be the head coach going forward. He's definitely going to have to figure out, what is he going to do with Yves Missi, because this guy, I feel he's a he's a huge talent in the making, and he's starting to work on his offensive game. And like I said, like I said about Yves Missi, he's from Cameroon, the same country as Joel Embiid. So, I mean, Cameroon has been producing some really good basketball products. So, this guy being from Cameroon, you know, continuing to work on his game, especially on the offensive end, I think that's huge going forward. Because if we can just get him to be more consistent on offense, he's going to be a problem. He is going to be a problem. And he's been showing it in these last couple games. He's been showing it. You know, he had a good game last night. He had a good game against the Mavericks. You know, he's been performing really well. So we have to figure out a way to unlock Yves Missi because this kid has a lot of talent, and I feel like he can be really good once he, reach his maximum potential. So that's it for me, man. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Shout out to everybody that's already subscribed. I really appreciate y'all out there, man. Thank y'all for joining the Pelicans flock. And as long as y'all keep subscribing, I'm gonna keep giving y'all these videos. You don't want to miss it, man. The all new Pelicans flock report. I'm out, man. Until next time.